Thanks for checking out episode 86 of the Eyes Free Sports podcast. My name is Greg Lindberg. Here on this episode of Eyes Free Sports, we are visiting with a young lady from Michigan who is a longtime dancer and has recently gotten into adaptive dance in the last few years and actually has started teaching adaptive dance for people with disabilities. So let's go ahead and hit the dance floor and get dancing now into episode 86. Okay, so joining me on this episode of Eyes Free Sports is Lindsey LaVere, and I've gotten to know Lindsey through my involvement in ACB, specifically ACB Next Generation, which we'll touch on a little bit later. But Lindsey is a longtime dancer and recently has gotten into actually teaching adaptive dance for people with disabilities. Lindsey, welcome to the podcast.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Really appreciate you taking the time to do this. And I know we haven't chatted a whole lot about dance here on the podcast, so really excited to get into it here.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Cool. So why don't we just kick things off here? Just kind of introduce yourself as far as your background, where you were born and grew up, and kind of your formative years.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I am Lindsey LaVere. I currently live in North Street, Michigan. Right outside of Port Huron, Michigan, where I was born. I currently live at home with my mom. My dad passed away in October of 2014 due to lung cancer. I have an older brother. I have two nieces and a nephew. And my brother's fiance has two daughters. So I have additional nieces. And I love each and every one of them so much.
Nice.
And I'm truly grateful that they're all a part of my family.
And then, so as far as your visual impairment, so I understand it was kind of early adulthood when you actually went visually impaired, right?
Yes. In December 2006, about 3 days after my 20th birthday, I ended up getting sick to where I ended up passing out and having a seizure. And I had to be rushed to the hospital where I found out that I had a massive brain tumor. And I ended up spending the holidays in the hospital and then had surgery the day after Christmas to remove the brain tumor. And then about a month later, I was considered legally blind.
Wow. So it was definitely a very sudden thing, sudden loss of your eyesight.
Yes.
And I'm curious, did you have any other effects from that brain tumor, just in terms of your body and health-wise?
Health-wise, it wasn't bad, but right now I have definitely been keeping an eye on because I was diagnosed with neuropathy in my hands, legs, and feet, and that affects my balance. So we have been keeping an eye on that and making sure that it hasn't gotten worse.
Gotcha. I see. And then in terms of education, career, anything you want to mention on that front?
Yes. I am a 2005 graduate of Port Huron High School. I took 1 year of community college at St. Clair County Community College, where I was studying to major in music and dance.
Nice. Very interesting. So speaking of dance, I'm curious, at what age did you start dancing? How did you get into it? And when did you kind of realize that was your passion?
I started dancing when I was about 2-3 years old. Growing up, I always loved watching the different movies that had dance in it. So I grew up loving all the different dancers. Fred Astaire. I watched, of course, White Christmas, Singing in the Rain. Any dance movie there was, I just took right to it. And I just loved each dance style there was. And I just wanted to learn it as much as I could and just went from there.
Nice. And so just in terms of different types of dance, obviously there are different styles, different approaches to dance. So just talk about your career overall in terms of what you've done.
So growing up, I started with tap dance. I tried when I was really little ballet, but at that time, ballet was really slow for me because I'm a lot better at faster dances. But as I got older, I started taking more lyrical classes And then when I got into high school, I did more different styles of dances where I was doing pom, kick, lyrical, hip hop. And then in my first year of college, I took a lyrical jazz class. But for majority of the years, I did tap dance.
Tap, I see. And I know you did mention to me at one point you danced in many competitions in high school, and you did some travel as well?
Yes, I did 4 years of high school competitive dance. So we had about 4 or 5 different competitions a year. And then depending on if you got the top ratings, you were qualified to go to nationals, where I was able to attend my first national dance competition in April of 2005.
Wow, very cool. And any accolades, achievements, anything you want to mention in terms of just your dance career up to that point?
I just loved every minute of it. Just getting out there on the floor with my teammates and performing the different styles. We won different awards with receiving the superior ratings, which is one of the top ratings in a dance competition. Individual dancers or even teams could win dance scholarships. So there's different categories within dance that you can try and achieve for.
Right. Very cool. So then in terms of your vision loss, I know you mentioned around age 20, losing a bunch of eyesight. And so I'm curious, how did that affect you mentally, just in terms of dance? And did you think you'd ever get out there on the floor again to dance?
Oh, of course. So growing up, I didn't start wearing glasses till I was in about 5th grade. So when I ended up losing my eyesight in January of 2007, it was hard going from almost fully sighted to having no sight at all. I do have some light perception, but it all depends on how bright the light is and where it hits on the right side of my eye. But it was hard because when I lost my eyesight, I didn't know if it was going to come back. I didn't know if I was ever going to be able to visually see my family, friends, or even be able to get back out on the dance floor, because I didn't ended up going back into the dance studio till the fall of 2018 when the adaptive dance class was created, because I was so nervous that I would be a liability for the studio. And I didn't want to put that on the studio. So when this class was created in 2018, I was a little hesitant at first, but I was so glad that I did go back, because I would have really regretted it if I didn't.
Sure. Interesting. And so this class that you mentioned that was started in 2018, was this geared toward people of all different types of disabilities?
Yes, the adaptive dance class is for anyone that has any form of disability. In this class, because this is my 5th year in the adaptive class, we have had students of all ages, to where the youngest was 6 years old, all the way up to individuals in their 30s. So it's open to anyone with any form of disability, regardless of their age.
Wow.
We have dancers that use a walker, wheelchair. Within these 5 years, I'm currently the only one who is legally blind, but it is open for anyone with any form of disability.
I see. And also, is it co-ed, open to both males and females?
Yes, it is open to boys, girls, adults, all ages.
Gotcha. Very cool. Very inclusive, it sounds like.
Yes, it is.
So then just talk to me about, rewinding a few years back to 2018 and, working with an instructor, and how did you kind of, develop a strategy so that you could effectively learn, some of the dances and, in spite of not having enough vision to visually see it?
So what helped me with coming back to the studio is because I did have that dance background. to where when the instructors say, okay, add in the Lindy or the Buffalo, it's a tap step. Well, I knew which step that was off the name of it because I did it when I was sighted. But there are some steps now without being able to visually see that don't always recall the terminology for it. So once they explain it, like, oh, okay, it's that one, then I can just go right into it. But it was a change going from being able to visually see coming into the studio, into the classroom, and then now coming in each week, not being able to see the studio floor or look through the mirrors to make sure I'm in the correct spot or I'm doing the exact same step as the instructor.
Gotcha. I see. And then just a little more in terms of, the verbal communication and kind of the descriptions that the teacher gives. I think you had mentioned like the clock method, kind of using that so that you know exactly what they're doing and kind of how to follow them.
Yes, absolutely. So I am currently in my first year of teaching the adaptive dance class. So as I teach, I base each of the steps off of a clock. So if we are pointing our right foot, I'll say point your right foot out in front at 12 o'clock and then slide it over to the right at 3 o'clock. So it's straight out to your right side. Or bring it back in center to where you're standing up straight with your knees slightly bent. Because in dance, you don't want to lock your knees because it's not good for balance. It's always good to have your knees slightly bent. But I try to use everything based off of a clock in terms of description. Same thing with arms.
Right. And I know I think of like a restaurant, going to a restaurant and the server, saying, okay, your broccoli's at, 1 o'clock and your mashed potatoes are at 6. So kind of similar concept, right?
Yes. So like if we're doing arm work and I ask the class, okay, we're going to put our arms in a diagonal. So your right arm will go up to about 2 o'clock, but your left arm will go down to about 7 o'clock. And then we'll switch it to where it'll be 11 and 5. Or if we do the high V, then our arms will be up at 11 and 1.
Right. Very cool. And I'm also curious, obviously with dance, I'm sure you kind of have to have some type of visual or at least some awareness of kind of where you are so that you're not obviously bumping into anybody if you're dancing with others or, walls or different things. And I'm curious how you've adjusted, having lost vision in terms of that aspect.
Oh, absolutely. So for me, and then I'll definitely go into for the adaptive class. But for me, like when I come in, my teacher will make sure I'm center of the room. And then if for some reason during the dance, if I get turned, she'll incorporate in the next step to get me turned back to facing front.
Gotcha. Makes sense. So definitely just some simple adaptations and
correct.
A little bit of assistance, it sounds like, and you're pretty much good to go.
But with the adaptive class, so each dancer has a dance buddy. A dance buddy could be either one of their friends, family member, or if they would like one of the dancers from the studio just to come alongside them and dance with them, or if they need any assistance, they're there to help them. And we just encourage each and every one of them to just keep going and just don't give up.
Right. That's awesome. And then so a little more on your actual teaching, aspect. I'm also curious, as a visually impaired dance instructor, do you find that challenging at all, working with, say, fully sighted individuals, like you mentioned?
It has its challenges, but it has a lot of awarding features too, because I just enjoy going in each week, hearing the enthusiasm of each of the dancers. They're so excited to be there. They're so excited to know what's the next step they're going to be learning. And they're totally rocking the dance number. And I'm so proud of each and every one of them because they've come so far and they're doing an awesome job.
Nice, nice. And what would you say the biggest thing is that you've learned getting to teach dance?
Teaching and being a student in dance are different, but they're both rewarding at the exact same time because it's always a learning curve. So I'm just always looking forward to learning more as I go. And especially with this being my first year teaching, I'm looking to, of course, learn more different styles of dance. And I'm just so grateful for this opportunity to be able to teach because it was my dream to become a dance teacher.
Yeah, and I gotta believe there aren't, I'm sure they're few and far between in terms of visually impaired and blind dancers and especially dance instructors out there. So definitely kudos to you on this achievement.
Thank you very much.
And do you want to give a shout out to the dance studio?
Yes, absolutely. I am so grateful and honored to be a part of the Dance Academy Port Huron, where I have danced there for a number of years. And I'm so grateful to be teaching there for my first year with the adaptive dance class, where I do have an assistant who is a teacher at the studio as well. We have a student helper. And if there's anyone just interested in knowing if there is an adaptive class in their area, just to get in contact with their local dance studio and see if they do have one, or if not, see if there is a way that one could be created, because it's a great opportunity for anyone of all ages, if they have a disability or not. It's a great activity. It's fun. And I just recommend it to anyone who would just like to get out there and have some fun and learn some different dance styles.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm curious, do you have advice for someone who's blind or visually impaired, maybe who doesn't have the background in dance, but is curious? What would you tell that individual?
Oh, of course. Regardless if you have danced when you were little or if you're just starting out now, there's different levels of dance. Like you'll learn right at the basic level and you'll move right up to the next level. There's always improvement. There's so many different ways, and it's just overall, it's just fun. And I think it'd be a great opportunity to just check it out. If you've never danced before, just try it. You may enjoy it.
No doubt. Great advice. And even just the health benefits, if you want to talk a little more about, the physical benefits of dance. I know it is quite a workout, right?
It definitely is a workout. There is different styles of dance. So it's a matter if you're doing lyrical, tap, jazz, and then the pace of the dance number. So like I'm doing currently for this year, a solo tap and a solo lyrical, but the tap number, because I do a lot better when it's to faster music versus a slower tap. Right. So with doing a faster tap this year, it's definitely kicking my butt, but I'm enjoying every minute of it. And you're working out every muscle in your body, your arms, your legs. And for me, it does help with my neuropathy, especially with the swelling. But always check with your doctor first before you do any dance class, just to make sure it will work for you. But it does help in the long run.
Absolutely. And I know you also mentioned, individuals with other physical disabilities, whether it's a wheelchair user or someone with a walker, obviously there's some type of dance for everyone, right?
Yes, dance can be adapted to anyone, no matter who you are. It can be adapted to whatever style of dance you would like to learn.
Absolutely. That's just so powerful to hear that. And yeah, I, have never really tried it myself, but, would love to get out there and at least give it a shot someday too.
Yeah, anytime you'd like to learn, I can teach you a few steps if you'd like.
Awesome. Awesome. I might take you up on that. So moving on to ACB, the American Council of the Blind. So in addition to your work, and dance and everything, I know you're very involved in ACB Next Generation, as well as, state and local chapters of ACB. So I'm curious, just in general with ACB, how did you initially get involved in the organization, and what was it about ACB that kind of drew your interest?
I got interested in ACB Next Generation. I was going through the community schedule when the community schedule calls were just getting started. And there was a call out there for anyone who may be interested in starting the ACB Next Generation. And of course, those sound interesting. So I'm like, okay, I'll come and check that out. And I tried, of course, depending on the schedule, but I tried to attend as many calls as possible. And I just enjoyed every minute of it. And then they had elections in December of last year. And I'm like, okay, I've been a part of Next Gen for a couple years. So why not try and improve my leadership skills and run for one of the director positions? And I am truly grateful for the opportunity when I was elected onto the board as one of the newest directors.
Absolutely. And I know I can speak for, the board and the organization in general, and just saying we're so excited to have you part of it, and, kind of have some new blood that we've had join us on the board and whatnot recently. So congrats on that opportunity, and certainly look forward to collaborating with you on many things to come.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to working with each and every one of the members and, of course, the board within Next Generation.
For sure. And then in terms of the state level, the local level, anything you want to mention as far as your involvement there?
I am currently the secretary for my local Blue Water League of the Blind chapter in Michigan. I am a part of quite a few different committees at our state level, as well as chairing the legislative committee within MCBVI, which is the abbreviation for Michigan Council of the Blind and Visually Impaired. And then outside of my state and local, I'm a part of a virtual Lions Club within Michigan and a couple other special interest affiliates at the national level.
Nice. Very cool. So definitely packed schedule, it sounds like, just with everything you're doing.
Oh, yeah. But I enjoy every single minute of it.
Awesome. Absolutely. ACB is a great organization. I know you mentioned the Lions Club as well. They do just tremendous work. And like I said, we're really thrilled to have you as part of Next Gen. And I know the ACB community has done, I believe, a few dance-related calls. I know they do a lot of fitness calls. So anyone out there interested in, virtual opportunities to get active, definitely consider ACB and the ACB community.
Oh, of course. There's different adaptable exercise classes every day of the week on the ACB community schedule. So it's just a matter of which one you would like to check out. There's yoga, there's cardio workouts. There's a wide range of different workouts that anyone is welcome to check out if they are interested.
Absolutely. Yep. I've had a chance to attend a few, not as many as I should, but they are a great resource, and we have some great folks, volunteering their time to provide, fitness and recreation opportunities virtually.
Yes, of course. And if there is anyone who may know someone who may be interested in taking an adaptive dance class, to reach out to their local dance studio. And if they do have one, dance studios usually have open houses in the month of August. Our studio does, where we have 3 days worth of open houses a couple times in August, where people can come in, take a tour of the studio, meet the staff, the teachers, ask any questions that they may have, and just learn more about what the studio has to offer.
Absolutely. That's fantastic advice. I think just, asking the questions, like you said, and obviously advocating and, just talking about how dance can be adapted and simple little things like we've already talked about in this conversation to make it inclusive to everyone of all abilities.
Oh, of course, because it doesn't matter if you have a disability or not. Dance is a great thing to learn, no matter who you are, no matter your age. Even when I go into the dance studio, because I go in twice a week, because I've ran into little kids when they see my cane, because that gets them asking questions about the cane. They either ask myself or they'll ask their parent, oh, she has, because they don't know what it is. So the parent will like, oh, that helps her get around. Or it's just a total learning experience and being able to teach other dancers about the white cane or about the different disabilities, because maybe they haven't been around someone who has a disability.
No doubt. That's such a great point. And I think, just in the blind community or, disabled community in general, people talk about, us just getting out there in the public, in different environments, different settings, different places to demonstrate that we are absolutely capable of engaging in different activities, being part of society just like everyone else.
Yes, don't let your disability stand in your way. If you want to get out there and learn how to, if it's dance or to learn a new sport, or if your dream is to be a doctor, nurse, whatever it is, don't let your disability, or if you don't have a disability, don't let that stand in your way. Just get out there and keep your head up high and keep reaching for the stars, and you'll get there. Just don't give up. Just keep going for your dream.
Yep. Very, very wise words and great way to wrap up here. Okay, again, so we've been visiting with Lindsey LaVere from the great state of Michigan. And Lindsey, thank you so much for taking the time to do this podcast. Really enjoyed the conversation, learning about dance, and certainly look forward to following your journey as an instructor and dancer.
Oh, thank you so much, Greg, for having me.
Be sure to follow the Eyes Free Sports podcast at facebook.com/eyesfreesports and on Twitter @eyesfreesports.